Good morning. It's Friday, March 11th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We're here to practice Wudang Qigong. For a minute, I thought it was October. It's the cycle of being mostly isolated from COVID for the last couple of years. So it's March. It's March. Okay. Today we're going to work on the connection between the movement, the physical breath, and the inner breath. A lot of work yesterday, excuse me, on this idea of taking an emotion apart, keeping the strength that you have from that strong emotion, and transforming, using a practice to transform that other part of it, that other part of the emotion, the negative part, into something that we want to cultivate so that we gain the strength and we let go of that part that is not what we want. Sip of coffee. Get my throat cleared. This idea of using the breath, inner breath and outer breath, to extend through the movement. That's what we're going to work on today. That ability depends on understanding a little bit what the movement is doing. What am I doing? What is this physical movement, right? It also depends on being able to circulate the energy through that movement, the inner energy, the qi, and the jing. It's my day. Sorry. So as we circulate the breath, breathe in, breathe out, we also want to connect the inner breath, the inner energy, right? Just the inner breath right now. Physical movement, physical breath, inner breath. Let's do basic stretch, and then we're going to get started. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Hands circle the front. Move back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Reach out. And again. One more time. We'll reach up. Elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Okay, so I'm going to say two more things as we get started. And we're going to start with turning the waist. The classes that I'm teaching, the way that I'm teaching, and the basis for all of the principles, all of the techniques, and all of the philosophy behind traditional Chinese medicine, how all of these things work, is part of a library, if you will. What are the things that are relevant to this art? It's a library. Well, traditional Chinese medicine is relevant. Western medicine, our physical body, how our physical body works is relevant. How we think about what we're doing is relevant. How we connect what we're doing with what we're thinking is relevant. All of this comes together, and I was working on a project yesterday, and I mentioned this, I'm also a programmer and coder, and I do a bunch of tech stuff. I'm a geek. I'm a geek. And I had a client who was trying to recover an old database. And as I was working on it for him, it gave me some errors, and I looked at those errors. I said, oh, this is part of the problem. Okay, let me try this. Let me see if I can find what it's looking for, because it was looking for something it didn't have, and it failed. I need this thing over here. I need this library. I need this skill. Yeah, I'm going to connect it just a second. I need this skill. Found the library. Voila. Everything was fine, because now that skill is present. It didn't have to do anything other than be present. All right? That is part of what we're working on this morning. And the idea behind this is that we need to be able to quiet the mind. That's the library that we need to have. The skills to quiet the mind. Now we can use that to connect the breath. Inside, the mind is quiet. Focus on the movement. Focus on the inner breath, the chi and the circulation through the movement, and the physical breath. Connect all of them. If the mind is quiet, we can do that. Keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to turn around so that we're going in the same direction at the same time. The opening, press down. Right hand, I'm turning to my right, so my right hand comes to the inside to extend out. Come back to center. Physical movement, physical breath, and the inner breath. Where is the inner breath going? Start with a lower dantian. Small heavenly circle. The Renjong is here. As the hands press down, return to the lower dantian. As you turn, pull up the back, small heavenly circle again. Right here, past the Renjong, start down, and sink. So, up the back, down the front. This idea, this concept, with the breath, with the movement, with the inner breath. And the inner breath follows the movement through the lower dantian. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax. Breathe in. Palms up. Breathe out. Press down. Circle. Out the back. Breathe in, breathe out down the front. Settle, and come to center. Sink. Physical movement. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in. 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 Breathe out. Pull up through the back. Open the gates. Down the front. Upper Dantian. Middle Dantian. Lower Dantian. Turn. Pay attention to the inner circulation. Don't focus on the movement. Focus on the breath and the chi. Pay attention to the small heavenly circle. Empty the mind. Quiet the body. Center. 2 more. Breathe in, pull up through the back. Breathe out, down the front. Breathe in, up the back, and breathe out, down the front. Last time. Lower Dantian, pull up through the back, and down the front. Pull up and return. Breathe in, breathe out. And center. Hands down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. Alright, relax for a second. This level of concentration, this level of practice, paying attention to inner workmanship. Not so much the physical part, not so much what you can see, but very much more what you can't see. That inner circulation, you can maybe sort of see it, but not really. Not really. You can feel the concentration. You can, if you're in the same room, right? You feel the concentration. You can feel the chi, right? But it's not a physical thing that you can look at and say, okay, well, if I do this, or if I do that, right? This inner connection is harder than it looks. It is. It's a lot harder than it looks. A lot harder than it sounds. I did better metaphor. A lot harder than it sounds. The concentration that you want to bring to your practice so that you maintain All of these things as you're practicing. Right? One of the, sip of coffee here for a second. One of the drawbacks for me in teaching is that I need to speak. I do. If I don't say something, you're not gonna. Hey, she's doing some stuff. We have no idea what we're supposed to do, but hey, it looks good. Let's watch. No, not why I'm here. In my own practice, I look for quiet places. Nature. Birds. Squirrels not so much, but the birds are all right. No gators. Really, seriously. Not fond of the gators. And those kinds of places that are quiet, that have some abundance of nature. The beach early in the morning. I used to do that. There is an element in that environment that we can bring into our practice. That element of natural force, as well as that quiet sense that there are some things that are present. Everything else is quiet. That ability to quiet the mind gives us the ability to concentrate on other things. If the mind is busy with stuff, how can you think about something as integral and subtle as the way in which you are breathing? If your mind is up here going chatter, 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 chatter. No, you can't. Quiet the mind. We're going to work on dragon and tiger joined together right now. And I talked about this with the idea that as we're moving, we are thinking about, in this particular exercise, it's aptly named, the idea that the tiger and the dragon represent different kinds of energy. The dragon represents Shun, the heavenly energy, if you will. That spirit, not religious spirit kind of stuff, but that spirit that we feel when we have something in our life that makes us feel valuable. We're doing something, that spirit, that I have something that I can share, that makes me feel valuable. That spirit, when an athlete performs and we say that he or she is playing with spirit, let's show good team spirit today. We'll have spirit. That spirit. Over here. Dragon. Tiger is the earth spirit. Right? Earth. Sky and earth. Yin and yang. Yin. Gotta have both. Okay? The tiger is yin, the dragon is yang. The tiger is that warm dirt that when you go out in the spring and you look at it, it crumbles a little bit. It's still got a little bit of moisture. And you can tell from the texture, you can tell from how it feels that what you plant in that dirt will grow. tiger. Mom. Dad. Alright? We're going to bring them together. The tiger has great strength. The dragon has an intense spirit. As we move, pay attention that the tiger joins together with the dragon, so that as you feel, you connect that with your thoughts and with the inner strength that both bring. Dragon is strong, tiger is also strong, right? Bring them together through the lower dantian. Center, as we bring the tiger and the dragon together. With the breath, alright? Quiet the mind. Focus on the practice. Inner breath, physical breath, and the movement. Feet above shoulder width apart, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax the mind, relax the body, relax the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shift. Extend. Pull in. And center. And shift. Extend. Pull in. And center. Sink. Tiger. Extend. And a dragon. Pull in, join together. And center. Pay attention to the small heavenly circle as well. Lots of things in our practice that we want to be aware of, even as we focus on one aspect. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Sink and extend. Pull it together and center. Breathe in, pull up the back, breathe out, down the front, pull up the back, and down the front. Keep going. Use the breath, connect the chi, center, quiet the mind. 2 more. Last one. Pull up through the back. Open the gates. Open the centers. Circulate the energy through the small heavenly circle. One more time. center, palms up, press down along both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there, breathe in, breathe out. Relax for a second. I'm going to mention something here, and then we're going to do a little more of that idea of dragon and tiger joined together in Red Phoenix Flies into the Sun. We're going up. Alright, as we're practicing, we want to keep all sorts of things in mind, but not be focused on one, this one. With the exception of the things that I give as the focus for today, right? When we do that, we build up this body of knowledge. We build our own libraries that in another form, on another day, we can use. The ability to quiet the mind so that you can focus on what you have to do right now is a valuable skill. It's a valuable skill. No matter whether we're doing this or not, it's a valuable skill. As we practice, pay attention to what we're doing as we practice. So, and I mean this quite literally right now. All right, this feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight, pull up through the crown of the head. This starting position and this first breath is our door. It's our gateway. It's the entrance to what we're going to practice, what we're going to go inside and find. And we may find some things, I talked about this a lot yesterday, we may find some things we don't particularly like, but you got to find them anyway. You got to go look. You do. You can't know yourself unless you look at the things you don't like, as much as you look at the things you do like. All right? As we start practice, this is a door. It's a marker, if you will. I'm starting my practice now. As I go into my practice, there are some things I'm going to do that I don't want to have in my daily life. So as I'm practicing, yes, I want to pay attention to these things, but I don't want to be paying attention to these things all the time. And, oh, hey, let me circulate the energy here. How you doing? I'm circulating my energy every day. No. Come on. We don't pay attention in the same way. As we stop, right? Last one, both hands down on both sides, pull up through the crown of the head, that litany. All right, pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels. That is our closing marker. I've stopped now. Put your toys away. We're going to bring them out again now. Right? But I want to mention that because it's important. It's important for your own health more than anything else. When we're working on this level, transforming internal energy, looking inside to find what's wrong with me, what hurts me, how do I fix it? How do I address it? How do I give myself a hug? How do I do that? It hurts. I don't want to carry that around every time I go out and, oh, I'm hurt. No. Put the toys away. That level of workmanship takes more than physical skill. It takes more than knowing where these pressure points are. It takes more than knowing how to keep in balance. It takes knowing yourself. What are you capable of? What are you going to do? Right? What can you do? If you don't know yourself, how do you know that? This dragon and tiger join together a little bit more. As we, I did that. Left hand to the outside, I'm going to my left. This turn here. Yeah, that's there too. But we're not doing that right now. Alright? So, left hand on the outside, left hand rolls to the inside, right hand to the outside, left hand comes up, right hand goes out. Dragon, tiger. Connect the breath. Focus on the centering and circulating the chi through the small heaven. We're still on the small heavenly circle today. That's where we're staying. Small heavenly circle. Connect the energy. Bring them together. Return to the lower Tantian. Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight. Relax the back, relax the body. Quiet the mind. Breathe in. Breathe out. Arms circle. Breathe in. Left hand comes to the outside. Roll down. Left hand rolls to the inside. Left hand up, right hand out. Come back to center. Return to the lower Tantian. Right hand rolls to the inside, right hand up, left hand out. Come in. Tiger and dragon. Connect the energy and the breath. Relax the mind. Focus on the breathing and the inner breath. Extend from the lower Tantian. Pull up the back, down the front, return to the center, pull up the back, down the front, return to the center. Two more. Connect through the body. Last time. And the center. Return to center. Palms up. Press down along both sides. Pull up through the crown of the head. Raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alright, we're going to do one more this morning. Stirring grass to seek the snake. As we practice, we keep this idea in mind that the breath, the physical breath, whooshi, breathe in, breathe out, that physical breath, is tightly integrated with the body, so that as you're moving, you're breathing. And you're not thinking about, I'm going to breathe, so much as I am breathing, right? It's a difference of little tiny, just little perception in the way that we think about
how we breathe. So, someone who is not working on Qigong practice, not paying attention to their breathing normally, and something happens, COVID was a really bad problem, right? It's still a really bad problem. The focus on the mechanism of breath, the lungs and the diaphragm, I've taught that class before. So, the breathe in, breathe out. How do we breathe? We need to understand what that mechanism of breath is. That mechanism is the starting point. It's not that, you've got to go beyond that. Going beyond that means integrating the movement with the breath so that as you move, there is no separation, there is no disconnect between the movement and the physical breath. The physical movement and the physical breath are integrated. Today we're working on adding to that the integration of the internal breath, the Qi. So focus on the small heavenly circle. There are other ways to do this. There are other things that I could say, we're going to focus on this channel, we're going to do this, and I will. Not today. Small heavenly circle, the inner breath, the Qi, connected with the physical breath, connected with the movement. Quiet the mind. Stirring the grass to seek the snake. All right. As we move, keep that circulation. So, up the back, down the front, up the back, and down the front, up the back, and down in the front. Small heavenly circle. Pay attention to keeping the connection between the upper body and the lower body as we turn the waist. I've given this before with the focus on turning the waist. Now pay attention, upper body and lower body. Pay attention that they're connected and moving in harmony. Not stiff, everything's moving. They're moving in harmony with each other. So that if I'm turning this way, my hips go with me, right? My shoulders aren't over here, my hips going over there. Now, everything's in harmony with good timing. Physical movement, timing, right? Feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight. Stirring the grass to seek the snake. Breathe in. And breathe out. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. And return to center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. My timing was off on that. And breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax the breath. Connect the physical breath with the movement. Deepen the breath. The more fully you use the breath, the fuller it becomes. Center, up the back, down the front, up the back, and down the front. Up the back, and down in front. Pull in, and center. Relax the breath, open the back. Use the movement. Pull up through the back. Connect the breath. And 2 more. Use the breath to drive the movement. Quiet the mind. Pay attention to the small heavenly circle. Last time. Pull up the back, down the front, up the back, return to the lower Tantian. Pull up the back, down the front, up the back, return to the lower Tantian. Breathe in, pull up through the back. Breathe out, hands down along both sides. Return to the lower Tantian. Pull up through the crown of the head, raise the heels and lower. Stay there. Focus on the lower Tantian. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. This closing, breathe in, breathe out. I spoke about this a little bit earlier in class today, this idea that we open ourselves in our practice. We open up things that we want to cultivate, and we may come across things that we don't want to cultivate. That idea of warm dirt, that you know what you plant, it's going to grow. That's what we want to cultivate. Seriously, we do. The idea behind what we're doing in our practice, particularly this last set where I talked about this full integration of the breath, the physical breath and the physical movement, and I called out the idea of using the movement itself to breathe. So I'm moving, and I need to keep moving because I'm breathing, right? This is my breath. I need to breathe, right? I'm going to move. That level of integration is one of the skills that we want to cultivate. We want to be able to do that. The other part of today's practice was this idea of quieting the mind. That if the mind is busy, I'm thinking about this, I gotta do this, I gotta take care of that, I gotta do that, blah, blah, right? The mind is too busy. If the heart is busy, and in this case the heart could be too happy, too sad, too upset, too angry, too something. It's not quiet. Shin is the heart. E is the mind. Both need to be quiet in order to build our internal energy. It's not quiet, we can't get to it. Once we get to it, we cultivate it. And then, just like the 2 and 3 year olds, kids, put your toys away when you're done. We put our toys away. So that as we return to our normal, whatever it is we're doing, or not normal for some folks right now, whatever it is we're doing, the energy that we have built, the energy that we have created, and the skills that we have developed, we put them away. The energy returns to the lower Tantien. As we do that, we build more. It earns interest, right? That savings account. It earns interest. It comes with a bunch of side benefits. Return the energy to the lower Tantien. Finish your practice. That discipline has value all by itself. It has more value in that as you finish your practice and you return the energy to the lower Tantien, you're not just dispersing it to wherever. You're keeping it. I worked really hard for that. I want to keep it. I'm generous, but I wasn't intending to give it away right now. Alright? That's the idea that we want to keep. Both interpretations of that, alright? We want to keep focused on that idea of returning the energy to the lower Tantien. And we want to keep that energy, which is why we want to return it to the lower Tantien. Alright, that's it for today. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, I'm here with Xingyi. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the outer shape of the forms in Xingyi as we continue through. My car's still broke, so it would be in this room, so a little bit more analysis. I'm going to move things along a little bit more slowly. Could be an advantage. Could be an advantage. And then as I get that taken care of, we'll move back to the format of one day is more movement, the other days maybe more analysis. Thursday and Friday, Qigong class again. I'm going to work on this, continue with this idea that there's more going on inside as we practice Qigong than is outwardly apparent. And that we need to understand what we should be doing. And we need to understand how to achieve what we should be doing. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.